Hello students, I am Bishwanath. Welcome to my YouTube channel Best Physics Guide by Bishwanath. Today I am going to discuss about the rotating reference frame or rotating frame of reference. In this chapter I shall discuss about circular motion and curvilinear motion of a particle. Let a particle moves along a circular path having radius rho. The radius of the circle is rho and Q is the center of the circle. OX, OY and OZ are three mutually perpendicular axes. I cap is the unit vector along OX axis, J cap is the unit vector along OY axis and K cap is the unit vector along OZ axis. Here the angular velocity of the particle, that is omega, acts along the OZ axis. Here OZ is the axis of the circle. That's why the direction of omega, that is angular velocity, is along the direction of the OZ axis. Therefore we can write the angular velocity omega vector is equal to omega k cap. Here k cap is the unit vector along OZ axis. And if theta be the angular displacement of the particle, then we can write that omega is equal to d theta dt. Here theta, the unit of theta is in radian. Therefore, the linear velocity of the particle, that is v, is equal to omega vector, v vector is equal to omega vector cross r vector. We know that v vector is equal to dr vector dt. Here r is the position vector of p with respect to the point O. Here O is the origin of the OX, OY, OZ axis. That is, O is the origin of the XYZ axis. Now the angular acceleration of the particle alpha is equal to d omega dt. That is, alpha vector is equal to alpha k cap. If a t vector be the tangential acceleration of the particle, then at vector is equal to alpha vector cross r vector. Here v vector is along the tangent of the circle. That is, v vector is normal to both omega vector and r vector. And since we know that dr dt is equal to omega cross r, similarly we can write that dv vector dt, dv dt is equal to omega cross v. And we know that dv dt is equal to d2r dt2. This gives the acceleration of the particle when the omega remains constant. That is, magnitude of omega remains constant. When the magnitude of omega and magnitude of v both are constant, then acceleration of the particle is a1 vector is equal to d2r dt2 is equal to omega vector cross v vector. This gives omega vector cross r vector. This is equal to omega vector dot r vector whole into omega minus omega vector whole into r vector. Here this acceleration is known as centripetal acceleration of the particle. When the circle is on xy plane, here then the magnitude of rho and magnitude of r becomes same. That is, rho vector is equal to r vector. Then the centripetal acceleration becomes minus omega square r. Since in this case omega and r are mutually perpendicular. That's why the omega vector dot r vector becomes 0. Therefore, the centripetal acceleration for a purely circular motion of the particle is equal to minus omega square r, where r is the radius of the circle. Now, the velocity of the particle relative to an inertial observer is v vector is equal to dr vector dt is equal to r dot vector plus omega vector cross r vector, where r dot vector is the velocity of the particle only along r vector. Now, applying the same formula to the rate of change of v vector, that is d2r d2r dt2 vector is equal to dv dt. This is equal to v dot vector plus omega vector cross v vector. But v dot vector is equal to r double dot vector plus omega vector cross r dot vector, where r double dot vector is the acceleration of the particle only along r vector. Therefore, omega vector cross r vector is equal to omega cross r dot vector plus omega vector cross r vector. This is equal to omega vector cross r dot vector plus omega cross whole within first bracket omega cross r. Therefore, d2r dt2 is equal to r double dot vector plus 2 into omega vector cross r dot vector plus omega cross whole into omega vector cross r vector. Here 2 into omega vector cross r dot vector is known as Coriolis acceleration, and omega cross whole into omega cross r is known as centripetal acceleration. And again, omega is a function of time, then angular acceleration is alpha. Therefore, the resultant acceleration of the particle in a rotating reference frame is d2r dt2 is equal to r double dot vector plus 2 into omega vector cross r dot vector plus omega cross whole into omega cross r plus alpha cross r, where alpha is equal to d omega dt. This is the final expression of the acceleration of a particle in a rotating reference frame. For a particle moving near to the Earth's surface, then the Coriolis force acts on the body is minus 2m whole into omega cross r dot vector with respect to the direction of the weight of the body. When a particle falling freely from a height h under gravity, then its horizontal displacement due to the Coriolis force is x is equal to 1 by 3 omega 8 h cube by g whole to the power half into sine theta, where theta is the co-latitude at that place in the northern hemisphere. That is, in the north hemisphere, the free-falling body moves slightly or displays slightly towards east. That is, the displacement of the part of free-falling body towards east is x is equal to 1 by 3 omega 8 h cube by g whole to the power half sine theta. Let a body moves with a velocity dx dt I cap plus dy dt j cap, that is in the horizontal plane. At the co-latitude theta, then the Coriolis acceleration is 2 omega whole into cos theta dy dt I cap minus cos theta dx dt j cap plus sin theta dx dt k cap. And now the horizontal component of this acceleration is ah is equal to 2 omega cos theta whole into dy dt I cap minus dx dt j cap. And the vertical component of this acceleration is av is equal to 2 omega sin theta dx dt k cap, where omega is the angular velocity of the earth with respect to its own axis. Therefore, the Coriolis force deflects a moving particle to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere, which is known as Farrell's law. For today, I am close my discussion. Please subscribe my channel and thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.